7 days before the Gaokao, a score exchange app appeared on everyone's phones. We could use future Gaokao scores to exchange for various things. A simp classmate used 10 points to exchange for 100,000 to please his goddess. A female classmate used 100 points to exchange for celebrity-level looks and an incredible figure. The rich kid used 300 points to exchange for a business brain. Only I raised a question. For such a heaven-defying thing, are we sure there won't be a backlash? But as a result, they discovered that I had bound the only clearing app. As long as I pressed the button, all their rewards would be cleared. So the whole class directly divided up my points, causing me to die tragically, reborn for another life. While everyone excitedly exchanged for various items, I kept silent, waiting until everyone finished exchanging their scores. My hunting moment officially begins. There are 7 days left until the Gaokao. A cold notification sound suddenly appeared in my mind. I woke up with a start on my desk. Looking up, the atmosphere in the class was oppressive. Everyone was writing furiously, afraid of missing this final review time. And right at this moment, a system notification sounded directly above the classroom. Gaokao Score Exchange app has been bound. Would the host like to start exchanging? The phones of everyone in the class suddenly made a sound at the same time. The class monitor first took out his phone in confusion. What is this thing? Exchange app. Who downloaded this app for me? Other classmates also successively took out their phones. Is it a check-in app developed by the school? Is this a legendary system? Have we been chosen by the goddess of luck? Have the main quest started? I coldly watched the reactions of my classmates around me. I'm back. I actually reincarnated back to 7 days before the Gaokao. In the classroom, everyone gathered together, laying out their phones. This app displays our future Gaokao scores. It says scores can be exchanged for anything. Who is willing to spend 1 point to test the waters and see if it's true or false? The app says the Gaokao score exchange can only be done before the Gaokao. After the Gaokao ends, it will become invalid. But after the scores are exchanged, will there be any side effects we don't know about? In my previous life, because I refused to use my score to exchange for anything, I was the first to be suspected. This time, I plan to take the initiative. Therefore, when no one was paying attention, I secretly dragged the clearing app to a hidden folder and even set a password for it. Only then did I carefully take out my phone. Let me try. What if it's true? I pretended to operate my phone, quickly using 1 point to exchange for 100,000. Soon, my wallet showed an extra balance of 100,000. Everyone's eyes instantly turned red with envy. It's true. It really can be exchanged. Everyone held their phones, calculating their scores. What could they exchange it for? But there were also a few who were more rational. For example, the class monitor said with concern, "Everyone, let's be a bit cautious before exchanging. What if the exchanged scores lead to deducted points in the Gaokao? If it exceeds the score needed for your preferred college, using it to exchange might be okay." Those who listened naturally began to evaluate, and those classmates who inherently had lower Gaokao scores just had dark expressions. Finally, the class's worst student, Wang Hu, exclaimed in exasperation, "My family doesn't have money to support me going to college anyway. When the Gaokao is over, I'll have to go out and do manual labor. Moreover, with my score, I can't get into college anyway. I might as well exchange it for money." Saying that, ignoring all advice, he directly spent 100 Gaokao points. Instantly, his account had an extra 10 million. He was overjoyed. He immediately opened a shopping app, frantically buying expensive gaming consoles, computers, and the like. He found that all this money could be used, and his app displayed that his Gaokao score only had 180 points left. With him as a cover, everyone felt relieved, itching to try. Facing all this, I put away my phone and kept silent, mockingly curving the corners of my mouth, watching them revel. All this is just the beginning. When most people exchange their surplus scores, their desires will be infinitely magnified. Faced with going to college or becoming rich overnight, many people will make their choice. When the first person spends all their scores, by that time, they will discover that this app hides another rule. Those with 0 points in their accounts will be obliterated by the system, and the rewards they exchanged for will be divided among everyone in the class. That is when the true bloodshed will begin. At this time, Lu Ruyan walked up to me and whispered, "Nanny, what are you planning to exchange for? With your score, exchanging for the things on there should be more than enough." I stared at her sharply. The math representative, Lu Ruyan. In my previous life, she was the first to discover my clearing app. She was good at playing with people's hearts. To keep her own rewards, she deliberately incited our classmates to hate me. She was the perennial first place in the class, while I was merely second. In front of this person, I absolutely cannot reveal the slightest flaw. I pretended to be hesitant and said, "I also want to exchange for money. Although my family isn't as struggling as Wang Hu's, it's not considered wealthy either. Moreover, my score this time isn't ideal. How many Gaokao points are left in your account?" I shook my head. "Not too many." Lu Ruyan lowered her head and said, "Actually, you could just exchange all of it. I just thought of a loophole in this app. If anything can be exchanged for, you could just directly use points to exchange for your desired university. Tsinghua and Peking University, as long as you can afford the points, should be exchangeable." My pupils suddenly widened. This was a bit different from my previous life. In my previous life, at this time, everyone was still quite cautious. Only those who couldn't get into college. The good students only dared to exchange for a small amount of money. The idea of exchanging for a quota at a prestigious school was a theory Lu Ruyan only brought up on the 4th day before the Gaokao. In this life, she surprisingly brought it up early. I feigned pleasant surprise and said, then in that case, wouldn't we be able to go to college and make wishes too? Then I have to think about it carefully. Lu Ruyan patted my shoulder. Her voice gradually became flirtatious. Actually, I've liked you for a long time. I originally wanted to wait until the Gaokao results came out to confess to you. Now I think there's no need. We can exchange for Tsinghua quotas together. Saying that, she tapped on her app. It showed the points needed to get into Tsinghua. It only required 350 points. I sneered inwardly. The same trick again. In my previous life, it was Lu Ruyan who actively confessed to me. She had discovered the app's hidden rules very early on, using our status as a couple to take the opportunity to look at my phone, discovering my clearing app. After all, she was first place in the class. I was second place. The one with the most points was her. She wanted to seize other people's scores. I was the first candidate. After getting my information, she decisively used others' votes to divide up my rewards, causing me to be obliterated by the app. This time, I won't be fooled. I put on a shy appearance. Let me think about it carefully. Our conversation was too blatant. My deskmate Wei Dong was the first to notice. I saw him frown, opening his mouth with a sour tone. Lu Ruyan, can't you see? Nanny doesn't like you. Moreover, now that there's the point exchange app, soon, Nanny will be a rich man. Of course he'll choose a prettier girl. Lu Ruyan's face darkened. She glanced at him, said nothing more, and left the classroom. Seeing this, Wei Dong also wanted to chase after her, but I stopped him. Wei Dong, what did you mean by what you just said? I've never looked down on Lu Ruyan. I just feel that her liking me is probably just liking my appearance. She doesn't understand me as a person at all. I'm not as good as she thinks at all. I deliberately used manipulative words to provoke Wei Dong. Wei Dong was originally my bro, yet in my previous life, he teamed up with Lu Ruyan to betray me, just because he had always secretly liked Lu Ruyan. Later, when my clearing app was discovered, it was also him who suggested to Lu Ruyan to vote and divide my score cleanly, leading to me being obliterated by the app. As soon as I said this, Wei Dong was indeed quite angry. Give it a rest. Just because you're handsome, showing off every day. Wait until I exchange my points for money. I'll get plastic surgery to look like a celebrity. I didn't mean that. Besides, plastic surgery can have side effects. On the first day the app appeared, 20% of the class made exchanges. I found an empty corner and silently opened the clearing app on my phone. A leaderboard appeared showing the people who had consumed the most points. Wang Hu points consumed 45%. Wei Dong points consumed 33%. Yang Wei points consumed 20%. When their exchange progress reached 100%, a clearing button would appear behind their avatars, since anything could be exchanged for with points. What if Lu Ruyan used points to exchange and learned about my clearing app? I must prepare in advance. This is my werewolf card. I cannot let anyone discover this thing. Early the next morning, not a single person was missing in the class for no other reason, simply because the exchange app could only be used in this classroom. Most people in the class had changed their attire. Some even had their appearances altered, especially when Wei Dong entered the classroom. Everyone was extremely shocked because he had completely changed his appearance. With handsome looks, comparable to a celebrity, he walked up to me, looking at me arrogantly. The exchange system is really useful. I just woke up from a sleep and I became like this. Hee hee. I sneered inwardly. In a few days, you won't be saying hee hee. Once you start using the app, you've entered the devil's trap. No one can emerge unscathed. Seeing my plain expression, he was a bit dissatisfied. What did you exchange for last night? Why don't I see any changes in you? I pretended to be embarrassed. Lu Ruyan asked me to exchange for a Tsinghua quota. With my Gaokao score, I definitely can't get into Tsinghua. Instead of that, I might as well directly exchange for it. Wei Dong's expression changed dramatically. He immediately took out his phone to check his score. I glanced at it and found that his account only had 20 points left. Wei Dong's face darkened. After a while, he stared at me and mocked. Aren't you stupid? It takes 350 points to exchange for a Tsinghua quota. Exchanged into money, that's 35 million. Even if you graduate, can you earn that much money? I shook my head. Our ambitions are different. Wei Dong weirdly cursed at me and shortly spread the word everywhere that I used 350 points to exchange for a Tsinghua quota. Soon, the whole class knew. They all looked at me like I was mentally challenged. That was exactly what I needed. Only by releasing news that I had exchanged would others not suspect me. While Lu Ruyan next to me looked at me, hesitating to speak. Nan-yi, I haven't exchanged yet. I want to observe first and use it on the last day before the Gaokao. But don't worry, I will go to Tsinghua with you. As expected, Lu Ruyan was an old fox, wanting others to step on the mines and test the waters first. It's just a pity. The app won't allow any fish to escape the net. The third day of the app's arrival, everyone received a new message published by the app on their phones. All prices. From now on, prices will double every day. Lu Ruyan's face turned green. Less than half of the class hadn't exchanged. They were mostly observing, having only exchanged a very small amount of points. When he saw the message, Wang Hu was the first to laugh out loud. Some of you guys were so afraid of side effects that you didn't dare to exchange, wanting others to test the waters. Now you have to spend twice the points to exchange. What a huge loss. Wei Dong also smugly tilted his chin up. TSK. Good thing we exchanged on the first day. I used 80 points to exchange for 8 million. Who still has unspent points now? Hurry up and exchange. Otherwise, there will be nothing left. There was also a rich kid in the class with good family conditions. Originally, he had no interest in exchanging for wealth. Seeing this, he gritted his teeth and used 300 points to exchange for a super business brain. You guys are all stupid. Money will eventually run out. But I am different. My family already has money. If I exchange for a business brain, I will earn even more money in the future. Hearing this, almost everyone was awakened and started exchanging for skills beneficial to themselves, no longer limited to money. Some had secretly loved a classmate for a long time, but never got a response, so they used points to exchange for the other's affection. Some were forced to be together because of the app, and could only spend points to cancel it out. In a short time, most of the points were completely consumed. More and more names appeared on the clearing apps list. More and more people spent all their points. Even Lu Ruyan's name appeared. Sure enough, facing the continuously rising prices, she couldn't hold back either. It's just that this person was very shrewd. She always kept 10 points in her account, while I turned a deaf ear to what was happening outside and continued to review. The 4th day of the app's arrival, the system's electronic voice sounded again. All prices are quadrupled. From now on, prices will double every day. For students whose account points are 0, you can vote to divide up their rewards. Please choose whether to divide them. At the same time, 14 names appeared on the app. Wang Hu, Yang Wei, Wei Dong, Zhang Chang, Sunny. Wang Hu fiercely slammed the desk. What does this app mean? We didn't have many points to begin with. Even if rewards are to be divided, it should be the rewards of those with high scores. Yeah, those of us who spent all our points. Wasn't it because we couldn't get into good universities? That's why we spent them early. How many points did we have anyway? Brother Wang, I stand with you. I definitely won't vote for you. The classmates who similarly spent all their points gathered around Wang Hu one after another, faintly indicating their intention to have him lead. As soon as the app's new rule came out, the originally harmonious classmate relationships were immediately divided into 2 factions. One faction was the classmates who spent all their points. The other faction was the ones who still had points in their accounts. Lu Ruyan, the rich kid. The class monitor and some class officials hadn't spent all their points. Don't get excited yet. This new rule of the app, we haven't fully figured it out yet. Everyone spent their own scores. Everyone exchanged for more or less money and what they wanted. There's really no need to divide up other people's rewards. After hearing this, Wang Hu's expression slightly improved. You're right. We all got a windfall. The money the app exchanged for us is already more than we can spend. Don't covet other people's things. Let me make it clear up front. Whoever secretly votes in private to divide my rewards, when the time comes, don't blame my fists for showing no mercy. Most people feared Wang Hu's fists. For a moment, no one dared to speak. Of course, the classmates led by Lu Ruyan also gathered together, secretly discussing something. Only I stood quietly in the corner and opened my Score Exchange app. Congratulations. During the period the Score Exchange app descended, you have not used any points. You have obtained a 1-vote veto. That's right. From beginning to end, I hadn't used any points to exchange for anything. The 100,000 yuan that arrived in my account at the very beginning was actually the New Year's money I had saved up since I was a child. I deliberately disguised it as wealth exchanged with points. It was just a smokescreen I released. The 1-vote veto. No matter if someone discovers later that I have the clearing app and initiates a vote against me, I can use my 1-vote veto, equivalent to having a death exemption medal. Lu Ruyan glanced at me out of the corner of her eye. Nan Yi, you still have points in your account, right? You need to be careful. Now, Wang Hu and those people have had their points cleared. I'm afraid they'll target us who have many points. I only have a few points left. I'll definitely be careful. What do you think we should do? I'll listen to you. After school, Lu Ruyan sent a message to each of us in the high score faction. Vote for Wang Hu. Vote him out first. How hypocritical. Saying to Wang Hu's face that there's no need to divide other people's rewards, then turning around and being the first to vote Wang Hu out. Why do we have to divide other people's rewards? The rewards some people exchanged for. Maybe you guys don't even need them. If I remember correctly, the class monitor was the only one who used points on the first day, who exchanged for his divorced parents to reconcile. In my previous life, when I was voted by everyone to have my rewards divided, he was the one who secretly told me to be careful of Lu Ruyan beside me. He was the second person after me to have his rewards divided. I couldn't help but remind him. You're pleading for Wang Hu now. Be careful that the next one to be divided is you. The class monitor's face instantly turned pale. If they really need it, I'll just give it all to them. I shook my head. This person thinks too highly of people. The 5th day of the Score Exchange app's arrival, Wang Hu received 15 votes. Over half the class believed his rewards should be divided. The app ruled that his rewards were cancelled. At the same time, as long as someone voted, their accounts received a sum of money. The class officials led by Lu Ruyan and the rich kid, plus me, made 14 votes. The class monitor and I both chose to abstain, but Wang Hu was still hit with a high number of votes. What did this show? There were also people in Wang Hu's faction who wanted him dead. I directed my gaze at Wei Dong opposite me. His expression was absent-minded at the moment. Obviously, it was him, and Wang Hu's face had already turned an ashen gray. He rushed to the front of us like a madman. Is it? You all voted for me. You want to kill me. Fine. Everyone speaks righteously, but in reality, you're all assassins in the dark corners. Saying that, he started frantically attacking the people on our side, until the system notification sounded again. The punishment for Wang Hu has been sent. In an instant, Wang Hu's eyes instantly became vacant. He blankly returned to his desk. Like a marionette, opened his book, mechanically reading the textbook. I knew very well the person sitting there at this moment was no longer the real Wang Hu. He could think, eat, and sleep, but his soul had already been stripped away. Who will be the second? Looking at the extra money in their accounts, who can resist the temptation? Soon, Wei Dong stood out, looking at us coldly. I know it was you people from the high score faction who voted for Wang Hu, saying over and over that you wouldn't divide our rewards. Actually, you want to kill us off one by one, right? Alright then, we'll just smash cracked pots to pieces. Let's all get cleared together. As soon as he finished speaking, the people in Wang Hu's faction immediately took action. They targeted classmates who were alone, cornered them, and forcibly demanded them to spend all the points in their accounts. As long as everyone's points were 0, then everyone could potentially be voted to have their rewards divided. Only then would the game become fair. Soon, the number of people on Lu Ruyan and the rich kid's side started to decrease. I silently watched all of this. The class monitor's face also didn't look good. After class, he secretly walked up to me. Can't we stop this from happening? People are going to die. Do they really? Just for money, arbitrarily obliterate other people's lives? They know, but it's already come to this. They have seen red. Do you think they still care about other people's lives? Saying that, I suddenly looked at him. Want to see a good show? The class monitor didn't understand. I then pulled him out of the classroom. At the corner of the restroom, Wei Dong reached out and put his arm around Lu Ruyan's waist. I did exactly as you ordered. I got Wang Hu voted out, and also spread the message about everyone clearing out. Now, they're going to clear everyone. I'm very worried about your safety. Don't worry, I won't be in danger. These people haven't figured out the app's gameplay at all. They don't know that their lives are completely in my hands. Do you really have the clearing app? Can arbitrarily divide anyone's rewards? How could I lie to you? As long as you obediently listen. Wait until after tomorrow. I will clear everyone's rewards entirely. When that time comes, the massive wealth will be ours. This isn't real. The people on Wang Hu's side have gone crazy. I'm really scared now that they'll find out I'm a mole. You just need to stay undercover for one more day. On the last day, I will definitely transfer my points to you to protect your account from being cleared. You can't lie to me. Also, I found Nanny an eyesore for a long time. Tonight, make the people on this side vote him out. I secretly ended the video recording on my phone, my heart greatly shaken. Lu Ruyan actually also had a clearing app. No wonder in my previous life she actively sold me out. It was just to protect her own secret. I quickly took this video and sent it anonymously to the class group chat using an alt account. Beside me, the class monitor's expression was complicated. Clearing app. Why does Lu Ruyan have one more app than us? Lu Ruyan holds everyone's lives. What do you want to do? Tell the others. And have her, this dangerous element, voted out first? The class monitor thought for a long time and smiled bitterly. Is there really no other choice? A way where no one loses their lives. I sighed. There is a way, but no one will use it. What way? Return the things exchanged with the score app intact back to the app. To truly avoid a backlash from the app is to simply not use the rewards given by the app. The class monitor's face stiffened. Do you know? I used the app to exchange for my divorced parents to reconcile. When I went home and saw them loving each other as before, the whole family quietly having a meal together. Do you know how happy I was? But have you thought about it? Such a heaven-defying app appearing. It's already beyond regular logic and rules. Even if your parents have reconciled now, do they genuinely want to be together? Do they still have love? They are just marionettes controlled by the system. After a long time, the class monitor seemed to have figured something out. He nodded, took out his phone proactively, without any taboo, entered the command to return his rewards. Instantly, his Gaokao points returned. The 6th day of the exchange app's arrival, Lu Ruyan stood in the center of the podium. Wei Dong guarded beside her. Now, all of your accounts have been cleared. Everyone is at risk of being voted out. Don't think we are standing on the same level. I know you all saw the video someone posted in the group. That's right, I have one more app than you. I can clear all of you with one click. No voting required. Don't try to snatch my phone. Because you can test whether your hands are faster, or my speed of pressing the button is faster. At this moment, of the 28 people in the class, 22 people had become Lu Ruyan's servants. Now only Lu Ruyan, the rich kid, the class monitor, and I were left. The rich kid was smart. He had long hired 2 classmates to be his bodyguards, sticking together to avoid being forcibly cleared by others. Lu Ruyan waved for me to go over. Nanny, come over to my side. Now, I have the app that controls everyone's life and death. I can keep you safe. Safe my ass. She probably wanted to kill me first. I crossed my arms over my chest and didn't move. The class monitor nervously stood in front of me to protect me. Seeing this scene, Lu Ruyan's face looked somewhat ugly. Don't worry, we were all good classmates in the past. I won't arbitrarily obliterate anyone. We are a class collective. Honor and rewards should be shared together. Now please, everyone, take out your phones. I will have Wei Dong register the rewards each person exchanged for one by one, to consider whose rewards would be the optimal choice to divide. The crowd feared the clearing app in her hands, and absolutely didn't dare to resist. They could only obediently take out their phones, and register the rewards they had exchanged for one by one. When it was the class monitor's turn, he finally couldn't hold back, and stood out to speak. Everyone, calm down. This app is the devil's fruit. Everyone, don't sink deeper and deeper. As long as you return all exchanged rewards back to the app, you'll be fine. Lu Ruyan scoffed mockingly. At a time like this, for Mr. Class Monitor to say such things, will anyone still believe you? Returning rewards to the app. How is that different from being cleared? Could it be that the Class Monitor wants to hog other people's rewards for himself? That's right. I exchanged for over 10 million. These past few days, buying a villa, buying luxury cars, eating eating, drinking, and playing. I've already spent several million. How am I supposed to return it? I exchanged for growing 20 centimeters taller. How do I return that? I don't want to rely on platform shoes. I won't return it. Mr. Class Monitor, you really are selfless. You have quite a lot of points, right? Since that's the case, let's use you to test the new rules. Everyone vote. Let's vote Mr. Class Monitor out. Now all those whose accounts were cleared had become Lu Ruyan's lackeys to show their loyalty. Almost all of them took out their phones to vote for the Class Monitor. The Class Monitor looked at everyone in disappointment, finally looked at me, smiled bitterly and said goodbye. I quietly watched the scene and also took out my phone. Use the one-vote veto? I clicked use. Soon it was my turn. I refused to take out my phone to register rewards. Wei Dong led other classmates to surround me. Everyone else registered. Why shouldn't you register? You definitely exchanged for a lot of money. After all, your score is high. That's right. I exchanged for a lot of money. I'm just not going to register. Vote me out if you have the guts. Since you're courting death, don't blame me for being ruthless. Ruyan, just clear him directly. Nan-e, don't break my rules. What I told you before still stands. As long as you agree to be with me, I'll definitely ensure your safety. Moreover, didn't you exchange for a Tsinghua quota? This reward isn't easy to divide up even if it's exposed. You are safe. Who told you that I exchanged for a Tsinghua quota? Sorry, I still feel that the Gaokao requires relying on one's own ability. Lu Ruyan's face turned ugly. You're making things very difficult for me. If I show favoritism solely to you, others will talk. I am also acting for the collective benefit. Then I can only vote you out. I nodded. You really look like an emperor right now, holding everyone's power of life and death. At this moment, everyone was awakened. The rich kid's eyes darted around, secretly pulling out his phone. From under the desk, I tapped my phone and sent a message. As long as Lu Ruyan's points are cleared, she'll be no different from the rest. The drama of usurping power is about to unfold as well. The 7th day of the exchange app's arrival, there were over a dozen more muddle-headed classmates in the class to prevent people from forming cliques privately. Yesterday, Lu Ruyan already cleared them with one click, turning them completely into blank-faced puppets. Seeing that the Class Monitor and I were fine, Lu Ruyan stroked her chin. It seems my guess was correct. As long as a person has points in their account, they won't be voted out. Not at all. That was only because I used the one-vote veto and simply kept the Class Monitor and myself safe. The rich kid had clearly also noticed this rule. Did everyone see that? Yesterday, the Class Monitor and Nanny were both voted on, but they're fine. What does this show? People with points in their accounts won't be voted on. Lu Ruyan now has the clearing app. She can obliterate us at any time. Shouldn't we take action? Are we really going to let her control us? As soon as he finished speaking, the 5 people around the rich kid fiercely pounced on Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan seemed to be prepared, quickly trying to press the button on her phone. But right at this moment, a hand from Wei Dong, who was beside her, suddenly seized the opportunity and snatched her phone away. He quickly retreated to the rich kid's side, holding the phone. He rapidly cleared the points in Lu Ruyan's hand and then looked at her with a smirk. Sorry about this, Ruyan. Having my life in someone else's hands, I'm still a bit uneasy. You actually betrayed me. Ruyan, I wholeheartedly sided with you, but you kept pining for Nanny, betraying my true heart. You can't blame me for betraying you. The rich kid, looking like a victor, became Lu Ruyan's replacement. Lu Ruyan sneered and pulled a new phone out of her pocket. I knew you would betray me. I've been guarding against you. You thought you could kill me? The clearing app can only be controlled by me. Any phone in my hand will have it reinstalled. Did you really think I didn't have a trump card? As she spoke, let's just die together. Wei Dong's face instantly turned pale, completely panicked, seeing that Lu Ruyan was about to continue clicking other people's clear buttons. At this moment, I took out my phone. Lu Ruyan, have you never considered that you're not the only one with the clearing app? As my words fell, I beat her to it and directly pressed clear on her name. Lu Ruyan's face instantly completely broke down. So that's how it is. You've been playing the pig to eat the tiger. You are the final wolf. The rich kid and the others swarmed up and directly bound her hands and feet, preventing her from using it again. Facing all this, I didn't try to stop them until the rich kid's gaze looked toward me. So you were the one who sent me the message. That's right, it was me. And don't try to snatch my phone either. I've timed it perfectly. There is 1 minute left before this app completely expires. Even if you mobilize others to vote right now, it's useless. I have the one-vote veto. I will always remain unharmed. Don't worry, we'll cooperate. The few of us who are left have already accumulated plenty of rewards. We don't care about your little bit. You don't touch me, I won't touch you. We'll peacefully pass this day. But exactly at this moment, a massive electronic notification sound echoed through the classroom. Gaokao Exchange app has expired. Number of people, 6, experiment failed. Number of non-users of the Exchange app, 2, all accounts uniformly cleared. Those who used the Exchange app will receive the ultimate punishment. Those who didn't use the Exchange app will receive a Gaokao booster pack. Wishing all Gaokao students a smooth exam and success. This time, the faces of the few surviving people all changed. Had they never noticed? Ever since this Exchange app appeared, teachers never showed up at school. No one stopped their bizarre behavior. It was just that everyone had their five senses blinded, so no one noticed anything wrong. On the day of the Gaokao, everyone returned to normal, but having experienced these events, some people were mentally unstable and underperformed. Others had gone insane, constantly claiming they were multi-millionaires. And why the hell go to college? Especially Lu Ruyan. During the exam, she suddenly went berserk and injured people, and was finally taken away by the police, while Wei Dong simply didn't take the Gaokao and hid away completely. In this year's Gaokao, out of 28 people in the class, 26 people failed completely. Only the class monitor and I were full of energy, with ideas flowing like a spring. We finished the exam in the best condition. Finally, when the Gaokao results came out, both of us were very surprised. The scores were much higher than what the app previously displayed. Both of us got into our favorite universities. Could this be the reward given by the app?